Welcome to Creative Cuts, where I'm going to take 4 pieces of paper and create as many layouts as I can. It's going to be a mix of chaos, mystery, and sprinkled with a lot of laughter. So grab your scissors, settle in, and let's share some memories. Okay, for the first Creative Cuts for Christmas, we're going to be doing Home for Christmas. It's Cartabella package. If it's available, I will leave it down below. It's got some gorgeous papers and great colors. They're all two-sided papers. The first one I'm going to use is this one with the trees on it, and it's got green on the back. So, you can use either side. That's one thing I like about this one. Now, this one has signs on it, Home for Christmas, and it's got signs, Merry Christmas, fa la la, that kind of thing on it. And back of it is green. Again, I could use either side. I'm going to play with it and see what I come up with. And this one here is another one. It's got poinsettias and red on the back. And then I chose this one because it's going to be a little bit more of an accent on it. This is stockings where we're hung. So again, stockings on one side. So this is the papers that I plan on using. And let's get ready to cut. You do want to make sure when you get ready to cut these that you know which paper's which. Now, I have a highly technical way that I do this. I have highlighters. These are great highlighters. They're almost like crayons, so it's not like a marker. It's more like a crayon. And I'll see if I can find them and link them down below as well. But you see I have the highlighted, which color, which paper it is. And this is the way I plan on doing my layouts, the cuts. So let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is cut off the end of it. My first paper is this one. And I am going to have a Google document that you can click onto and get all of these measurements down so you don't have to worry about, writing everything down right now. So the first one we're going to cut this is a 9 by 12. This paper doesn't matter as far as orientation goes, but if you have a paper that orientation matters, you're going to want to make sure that you keep up with what it is. And then I'm going to cut a 3 by 3 off of this one. And then I'm leaving the other one, the 3 by 9. I'm going to leave that like it is. So that's paper 1. Paper 2 is the ones with the words. So I'm going to cut this one off first. And this one, the orientation does matter on how I'm doing this. So I want to make sure I do have it in the drawing right. So this one's going to be, okay. So this needs to go in my paper this way. And it's going to be a 7 by 12. And then for the other one, it's going to be, I need 2 of these. That's going to be 1 by 12. And I turned it over this way just because it's got more of the complete word on one of them. So that's what that one looks like. And then I need another 1 by 12. And that leaves 3 inches, which I'm going to do the same thing I did before. I'm going to cut a 3-inch. And then leave the other 3 by 9 like this. Here, this is my paper 3 with the flowers on it. You could say that it doesn't really have an orientation, but to me it does. With the leaves pointing up, I don't want the leaves pointing sideways or anything, so I'm going to make sure when I do this, I'm going to be cutting it the way I need it to be used. And this one, I'm going to be using this away, so I'm going to cut this one first, and it's going to be a 12 by 7. I'm going to cut 7 inches off here. And then I'm going to do 1 by 12s. Yeah, 1 by 12. I had to look, make sure I was using the right paper. My highly technical paper. All right, another 1 by 12. And that leaves a 3-inch. Well, I'm going to cut another 3-inch square here. And then the other one, I'm leaving 3 by 9. Last paper is the one with the trees. Cut off the end of this one. Orientation does matter on this one, but This one I am going to be cutting a 9 by 10. So I want my trees to go up this way, so I'm going to cut 10 on this side. If you have a paper that orientation doesn't matter, then it's not going to be a big deal. But and then this one's going to be a 9. And then I'm going to have, this one is another 3-inch paper. So this is going to be cut, again, the 3-inch square. Got you curious about those 3-inch squares, don't I? And this I'm going to leave the same. And then this one is going to be cut 1 by 12. Just like that. So that's our paper cuts. First, for the first layout, or for one of the layouts I should say, I just put them in packages and decide which way I'm going to be using them as we go along. So the first one is going to be paper 3, which is this one for me, and it's a 7 by 12. I am going to have a Google Docs down below that you can look at for all of the measurements. These are also going to be in Cricut Design Space from when I actually planned out all my cuts and what sizes I want them to be. And all the finished layouts will also be in Cricut Design Space. They'll all be separate links, one for everything when I first designed it, and then the finished layouts will be in there as well. So this is the 7 by 12. And then we have, I'm going to use 2 of the ones that are paper number 4 for me, but I'm using this side of it. And I have some page protectors over here that I'm going to put them in for now, just to keep my paper sorted. All right, now for the second layout, I'm going to need this one, and then I'm going to need these 2. So that's my second layout. I have a page protector for that one. All right, now for layout number 3, I'm using this one here. That's my layout number 3. Like I said, all this will be written down for you. Oh man. All right, layout number 4 is going to be this one here with these 2. And then I have these left. And I'm going to cut one of these down to a 4 by 3, a 3 by 4 rather. Just got to decide which ones I want to cut down. So I'm going to cut these 2 down to 3 by 3. And then these I'm going to use as accessories for my pages. I'm going to make some tags. I'm going to be making some presents, that kind of thing, to decorate my pages up. So I'm going to put these aside. These are for another layout number 5 or the 5th layout, whichever one comes first. And so that's my cuts for this. I'm going to put these in here so I won't get them mixed up. And that's my paper cuts for this layout. Like I said, you will find the Google Doc down below, all the Cricut links down below. It'll be all typed up. It won't be my fancy one. Guys, stick around. We have 5 layouts to do on this video. Stick around. Number 1, I'm using the paper with the flowers on it, and the paper is a 7 by 12. I did go ahead and put a dot in the middle of this one, and I found the middle of this one, so I'm going to make sure, I don't worry about it being perfection, but I did want it to make sure that it was even on the top and the bottom. And I'm going to use my liquid glue to glue it down. One side first and then the other side. That way I don't have to worry about it losing my spot. To me, whenever I do something and something looks a little crooked, then that's just telling me it needs another embellishment.
I even have my husband saying, embellishing opportunities. There's no mistakes, just embellishing opportunities. All right, so the other paper I'm using is the one with the Christmas tree, but I am using the other side of this instead of this. And I'll come back later after I'm done and I'll make sure everything is glued down. Let me just glue it lightly just to make sure that, the way I want it. I do try to do stress-free scrapbooking because I try not to compare myself to anybody. And I also tell myself that for every scrapbook page I do, that's a memory that's shared. And that's a memory that's going to live on for generations and generations and generations because they're going to know who it is and what happened. And to me, that is so important because there's so many memories that I don't have of my family and pictures I do not have. So that's why it's important to me. So the picture I'm doing is from 2003. And would you look at this picture? It's me and all 8 of my grandbabies, 2023. I'm telling you, these guys, they have my heart, my soul, everything. I love those kids and they all love me so much. And I am that typical grandma where they were over here the other day and it was so funny because they were like, one of my grandsons, they play Roblox or whatever. And he's like, Grandma, can you get me some Roblox? Because he likes having a private server or something. And it's $1. And so I went to get it. And the girls are like, Grandma, you don't have to do everything he asked you to do. And I'm like, why? I do everything you asked me to do. They're like, no, I don't. And I'm like, so you didn't want this earlier and I did that? And I'm telling them all the things. They're like, oh, well, maybe you do. Yeah, I don't. I'm going to turn this to the side because what I'm going to do next is I took a piece of the embroidery thread. I took a red and a green. And I'm just going to glue this only on the edges up here. If I decide later on that things are not going to hold, I will go back and fix it. But for now, I'm just going to do 2 little dabs on the corner. I put way too much glue on there, but that's okay. That too can be fixed. Life is too short to beat yourself up, guys. If you're doing that, don't do that. Just stop. All right. So what I'm going to do with that is I found at Hobby Lobby, I found these, over the Christmas stuff, I found these stockings. Stockings is what they're called. And there have to be 8 in a package. And I happen to have 8 grandbabies. So I'm like, it's fate. It's just fate. So I am going to line all of these up. I thought I might do, measure it, make sure they're like extremely, really close to be the right way and everything else. And then I thought, you know what? I got too many other layouts I want to do, so we're not going to do that. So we're just going to hang these if they're hanging up on the wall. When I was doing this, and I was trying to figure out how I wanted to do it, I thought, you know what I'd do is I will, if I could get a fireplace paper, that would be really cool. But we're not, so there you go. Spread these out here just a little bit. And this is going to help hold my thing on, but if not, like I said, I'll go back later on and make sure everything's glued. So I did get these at Hobby Lobby. I'll try to link everything I can down below. That look adorable. But these stickers came out of an Echo Park sticker book. So I have a Christmas tree I'm going to put here. And I have Santa Claus I'm going to put in front of him. And then I have two of these little things I'm going to be using as my title. I am going to put Believe in the Magic under like there, and then Christmas Blessings underneath it. That's going to be my title. I'm going to go ahead and glue that down. So And then I have a Santa Claus that I picked up from Hobby Lobby. Same area that I'm going to put here. I think I want this moved just a little bit. I like the edges on this, so I want to make sure I have. And just like that, we have a simple, beautiful layout. I'm going to turn it over to the back, and I do my journaling always on the back of my paper. On occasion, I've done it other places, but when I'm doing my layouts, I don't like to stop and think, okay, where am I going to put journaling at? So I just simply turn it over and write it on the back of the paper. If it's a pattern set on the other paper, I just glue down a piece of scraps and write on it. Right now, that's what I do, and it seems to work for me. So, guys, I have layout 2 coming up pretty soon. Stick around. We're ready for layout number 2. So this is the paper that has the red on the back and the stockings. And normally I would put this away. However, I was playing with paper earlier and I came up with something else, and I like that so much better. Something different. I do like coming up with different things. So this series, Creative Cut series, is something new. This is the first one I've had of this Creative Cut. And I am taking 4 pieces of paper and I'm creating 5 layouts all in one video. So I'm going to put this one up here at the top. This one here is the big one is a 9 by 12, and the small one is a 1 by 12. I'm going to put this one here at the very top. And then when I was getting my paper ready and getting ready to record, I came up with, because I had just put this paper down, that I am going to do this. Maybe I should have put this one down just a little bit. So while that glue is still wet, I'm going to put this down here, because I do want to have a little bit of a gap at the top. Look how cute that looks already. Now the picture I'm using on this one today is of my daughter, her twin boys, and her husband. And I'm using a frame this time. I reorganized everything. I have a video at the end of the month that I'm going to be showing you everything that I've done with my room. I'm in a wheelchair now, so it has to be convenient and easy for me to get to. So let me show you what I've done with that at the end of the month. So I'm going to put this one down. This is going to go about here. And then I'm going to put this down here on top of it. This is actually only like the second time that I've ever used a frame on my lamp, because I never went to them. So I come up with a new way to do that. This was Christmas 2023. And I am going to put this. I'm going to get some dots here for this. This is just a pen that I have made, and I just got some really inexpensive pencils from Walmart, and I just got needles and put them in there, and they come up and down just like the. So this is going to go right about there, and then I have a snowman. It's got a piece of adhesive tape on the back, but it doesn't feel very sticky, so I am covering up that part right there. And then I have a gingerbread girl that's going to be like her best. You know what? I'm going to use one of these because I do want it to sit up just a little bit more. So this is going to go right here with me. Look how adorable that looks already. I love doing scrapbooking. I love any kind of crafts. But anyway, here we go. I got this. that I'm going to put here. It says Merry Christmas. And you can't see it really super well on here, but you can in person, and that's what, makes a big difference. And I'm going to put one of these little dots on top of it. I will have all the products that I can find down listed below in the description. But there is the Merry Christmas sign. And down at the bottom, I am going to do a build a scene. I love build a scene. I think it makes everything look so fantastic. It's like telling a story at the at the bottom of your page. Now I have seen some layouts where they have like a build a scene at the top and the bottom. I have not done that yet, but I want to. So the nail sign's going to go there, and then I have this cute little snowman, which I am going to use some dots on the back of that. Some adhesive things here. I cannot believe it is so close to Christmas. This year has gone by so fast. But this is going to go right as if he's standing right here by the mailbox. Almost like he's leaning on it. Oh, you guys can't see that. There we go. Not Santa. I have a snowman and a mailbox on that side. And I have a tree and an elf on this side. And to fill this in, I have this Santa and a reindeer. And I'm going to put here. And then to fill this little spaces in right here, what I found that I really enjoy doing is coming up with phrases. So we're going to start with Jingle Bells, North Pole, Traditions, and I purposely picked these out to where they're red, white on this side, and the shorter phrases. And then over here, I'm going to scoot this guy over just a little bit. And I'm okay with these phrases shifting a little bit over his coat. And of course, when I took the reindeer off his horns, his antlers came off. So I made sure I kept up with it so I could glue it back on. There you go, buddy. And then on this side, I'm going to do some more phrases. So this one says, Dear Santa, define good. And this is Christmas memories. And on this side, I have red, black, so that it doesn't look like you have everything on the same color, next to each other. My next one is Joy to the World. And then the last one that I have is There's No Place Like Home. And that is my quick layout. Look how adorable that looks. I love the way this turned out. I will have pictures and stuff and everything else for you guys. When I tell you I have my all the information on this, I put it on a Google Doc. You just click on it, have all the links to everything on there. It'll be descriptions and things on there. So everything I can find will be listed. This is also in Cricut Design Space. I will link that there as well. So if you guys have any other questions, don't hesitate to let me know, and I will be back with layout number 3. Let's do layout number 3. This one, again, is going to be a little bit different, but bear with me. You're going to like the end. This is my youngest son, Paul, and his 3 girls, Christmas 2023 again. I am going to start putting my title on first because everything kind of has this certain place it needs to go, and I don't want to I have a tree I'm going to put up that I'm making out of 3x3 squares, but I want to make sure this is on there first. This thing that I'm making I used the Xyron mini sticker maker. I use that all the time, and I'll try to list it down below for you. But I make that, and I made this sign Merry Christmas with my Cricut Joy. I didn't have any stickers, but when I'm able to get in here and make some of these, I like the fact that I can custom make it the colors that I want and the size that I want. But the stickers are very convenient too, so. Oops, I'm putting it crooked. Oops, I almost put that upside down. That would not have been cool. Okay, so there's my title. My picture is going to go about here. And I have some foam things that I'm going to use to put that on. I'm going to be doing 2 more layouts with these papers that I've cut. This pen that I'm using to get these stickers off the back of it, I just took some mechanical pencils, just some inexpensive mechanical pencils, and then I got some sewing needles and used it, and it comes up and down just like the pencil lead does. So it makes it very, very convenient. Let's start on the tree. These are 3x3 squares, and I could use either side, but the one I'm going to be using is just the dot one. I'm just measuring this because what I did is I took a piece of the scraps from the other ones that I didn't use, and I just made the stem of my tree. So to make sure I get it leveled up here. Okay, so what I'm using is 3x3 squares and a small piece of scraps that I had left from the other paper, and I just made that as my base. And I'm just going to be alternating these colors. Not sure why my blue thing's not working very well today. You know what? Okay, so I started with the 3x3 square, and then I just put a small piece of cardstock that I had left from another layout like this, because I'm trying to use all the pieces that I can. And then I'm just going to start leveling, putting these up here one on top of the other. I did struggle with with these papers. I had another idea, and I actually did the layout, and I didn't like the way it was coming together. I was struggling with it, so I just cut the back of it off and decided that I was, just cut these pieces off again if I couldn't take them off, and decided that I was going to redo it. So I came up with plan B. See, here's one of the ones that I had just cut off. So if you don't like something, it's not going well, put it back and try something else, or another day. Because sometimes you just have days where you think your mind wants to do something, and it's like, nope, sorry, not happening. But there's the base of my tree. It looks different, I know, but I like it. So I'm going to I made a star on my Cricut Joy as well. This is just a piece of shiny paper that I cut into a star. I thought about a bow, but it's hard finding Christmas sticker bows. So I'm going to put this up here on the top. Now later on, I'm not going to do it right this minute, but I am going to take some stickles and I'm going to do the top of it. So I'll have pictures, as always, at the end of these so you guys can see the finished layout. And then at the very end, we'll go through the layout share as well. Everything's going to be an all-in-one video. So how else am I going to decorate this page up? Let me show you. I am going to take some stickers. I'm going to start with this one. And I'm using these as like, almost like steps or gifts of some sort. I don't want too many there, but I do want to have a place to put some things. So these are just different stickers that I have that I found in my stuff when I went through everything. I don't want to build it up too much where I can't put my other stuff up there, but I want it to look cute too. That one's too wide, I think. So I'm just layering some of these sentiments here. And then I'm going to grab some stickers. I'm going to look for just a couple of more word things here. It says Christmas Eve. Believe in the magic of Christmas. And I think this is going to be my last one. If I can get it off. Okay. Now I'm going to get some more stickers and I'm going to layer a few things on top. See if I can find some. Oh, here's the elf. Oh, no, that's the one with Festive Season on it. I don't want that one. Should pay attention. I mean, I'm not, but I should. I know I have a. Oh, here it is. Here is a gingerbread family. Here's a small Santa Claus. So this is almost like making risers with these things. Here's a better Santa Claus. If I can get it off. I'll put this one over here because it's a little taller. I used all my snowman up. This book is going to be great for making Christmas cookies and stuff. I'll link these books and stuff down below. Oh, that looks cute there. I just need to find a couple of more things that I want to put on here. Here's the reindeer. I'm going to hang these mittens here. So not just putting some finishing touches on there. Oh, look at the sign. I wonder if it would look. Nope, it's too big for that one. My elf. Can I figure? No, that's the same elf. Well, you know what I'm going to do? I don't want the words on there. So, I'm just going to cut the words off. It's like I got better things to do with my time than try to. I'll try this deer. I like moving these things around. A lot of times you'll see me have a piece of wax paper if I'm not sure what I want it to look like. So I just play with it. That's to be basically my layout. Like I said, this started to be a totally different type of paper, of layout. I was going to use the squares like in an L shape. And it turned out that I didn't like the way it was looking and I couldn't make it look right in my brain. So I went through and just cut them back out again. And now I'm, did something else. And I think the way this turned out is adorable. You see the bottom of it. And I just use it almost like you'd use levels or something. And then my title. It's simple but adorable. And then my tree. And like I said, I am going to I can't decide if I want to use gold. I think I'm going to use the gold. Green or red. And I have to make sure I leave this still so I don't move it until it dries. Because I'm terrible about putting these things on there and then not letting it dry and get it all over the place. So I'm just going to give a little gold sheen to that. And that is going to be my layout. All of this stuff out of my way. I have 2 more layouts to go. I love the way this thing turned out. You guys stick around. I got 2 more layouts to go. Okay, layout number 4. So this one is the words, and it's just got the green on the back. I'm going to use this one for this layout, and it's going to go like this. I'm going to start by putting it on. There's times I get the ruler out and I look at it. Other times I just, kind of eyeball it. Sometimes it really needs to be like right in the middle. But other times I'm like, but I do need to at least get it set up in a, I do need to at least get it, on the page. All right. So the borders that I'm going to use is this. This is the back of the flower one. I wasn't sure. I love this paper, but I wasn't sure how I was going to make it work. Because, I don't care how long you've been scrapbooking or how long you've been doing your paper project or something. There's still times that you try something, you're like, or you see something, you're like, I just don't know, but I'm going to give it a shot anyway. And if you feel like that, it's perfectly normal. Perfectly normal. There's nothing wrong with you. Everybody doubts themselves on occasion. And sometimes you just have to tell your inner self to be quiet. All right. I need to get this to cooperate with me here. Okay. There's my base. And then something else I'm not used to using, but I'm going to get myself to use today is a rub-on. So this is going to go up here. I have not used one before. I do have a few, but not that many. So we're going to see how well I can do it. I thought about using a different tool, and then I thought, you know what, just do it the way the thing said to do it. So I'm just going to rub this on. I think I need something. This. Okay, just going to put this book underneath there so this will stick on. And I think the trick is to make sure you don't move it around as you're, like that almost did, when you're doing this. But if you haven't used, or if you have used rub-ons before and you got some tips and tricks for us, please leave them out below because all of us would love to hear it. So without trying to get this thing to move, because if it moves, I'm in so much trouble. I don't have another one. And it's halfway on there, so it's not like I can take it off. And I really want to use this. Don't move. There's got to be a trick to keeping these things with not moving. while you're doing it. I know I could probably use washi tape or something, but I'm just afraid it's going to like stick to the paper and mess it up or something. I don't know. So somebody give me some tips about using rub-ons, because they have some cute rub-ons now. Did I do it? Oh, nope, I got one last piece here. All right, now I did have one of these rub-on things here come off, but I did save it. Looks like there's 2 of them missing, but that's okay. I'm going to just use a dab of glue on it. Hopefully it'll stick. And if it doesn't, I think get my glue to work. All right, we will deal with that in a few minutes. Maybe I can get it to go on there anyway. Now what I'm going to do for this one, I'm just going to use some glitter glue and try not to mess it up. And let it not to mess it up until it dries, kind of thing. We'll see. It'll be obvious that it's not the same one, but it's embellishing opportunities. I may just make a dot or something put on it. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not liking that, so we're going to take that off before it dries. Like I said, everybody does this. It's nothing new. Everybody just has like, okay, that didn't work out as planned, so we just move on. We just simply move on. There we go. All right, so I'm going to figure out those missing ones, and it may not even be where you can tell it, but I'm not going to worry about it right now. So my picture I'm using on this one is my oldest son. Just need to cut this off a little bit. And I'm actually using a frame in this one, so yay me. Frames, rub-ons, different things like that. I don't always use as like I'd like to. So I found this red frame, and it's not the exact same color of red as the other one, but I find I don't mind it that much. So this is him and his girls, and I'm going to use some dots on the back of this one. Oh my, look, I got it on my finger. Oh, yay. Nice, look at that. See, things work out. You just got to get that whatever attitude, and something comes up. Something comes up. That was funny. I know I have a black hole underneath me. I don't know if you guys do either. But when I'm crafting, and I'm sitting here and I'm trying to get some things done, and all of a sudden I lose a tiny piece, or even a little bit a smaller piece, and I can't find that thing for nothing. No matter where I look, I can't find it. Sweep the floor, everything. It's like it just disappears. Of course, it's not also it's also not unheard of for people to come up and like, you got something. Oh look, there's a sticker. I was looking for that, thank you. All right. So I'm going to put this, I think, about here. I'm not going to press it down until I figure out what where I'm putting this thing. I just gotta figure what side I want it on. I think I like it on this side, and I don't know why. There's no explanation. These pages, I try to get my pages to do it quickly. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. This all came together. I'll see if I can find it and list it down below for you. This tree came with all these gifts. So I'm going to put those on here. Now at the top of my page, I have a, look at this, gingerbread man, which I found at Hobby Lobby the other day, and a gingerbread girl. I have a snowman I could put on here, but I don't, oh, you know what? I'm gonna put it right there. And that is my page. This turned out so cute. I still want those ideas for how to use rub-ons. If anybody's got it, please. Also, if you have some different Christmas layouts that's unusual or different, share them too, because I'd love to see them. So that does it for this layout. I'll have pictures at the end, and we will have a layout share at the end as well. So you guys stick around. I have one more layout. Don't give up on me yet. Our last layout, guys. I've been having fun. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. It helped me out. Help a grandma. Anyway, last layout, me and my husband. Same year, 2023. So why was this Christmas so important to me? I'm going to try to do this without crying. Life gets busy sometimes. Couples start fighting. But this was the last Christmas I remember everybody coming over and having a really good time. Nobody was on their phone. Everybody's like playing games and messing around with the kids and having fun and just laughing. It wasn't one of those things everybody comes over, eats dinner or lunch or whatever, and then leaves. This was a fabulous Christmas. So when everybody asked me this year what I want for Christmas, what I really, really want for Christmas is another Christmas like this. I so need to have a Christmas where nobody wants to be on the phone. Not that I forbid everybody to be on the phone. The trick is to have them not want to be on the phone. I am doing things so different this year because I'm so desperate to have a Christmas like this. I want to have, instead of making a lot of food, my daughter's making a crock pot of chili. Grandbabies are coming over for Camp Crazy Christmas, where they come and spend a few nights, and we're making cookies and all kinds of desserts. I have my youngest son and his fiance bringing charcuterie board. My oldest son is making some bread and maybe a couple of, maybe macaroni and cheese or something. And we're not even going to sit down at the table. When you get hungry, you find stuff to eat. Desserts are going to be put into mini dessert cups or, paper plates or whatever, already cut up. I don't want anything to keep us having a great time. I want to play games. I want to laugh. I usually buy lots of Christmas presents for my grandbabies and my kids. And of course, they're at the age where like, I don't need anything. It's not about you. This is about your mama wants to buy you something. Now help a woman out. But anyway. So, are you finding yourself in that Christmas time where it's hard to everybody just come over and have a good time? We went to two of my sons, 2 different days, both my sons, for Thanksgiving. And one on Thanksgiving Day and one the day after. And they both were so busy cooking and cleaning that they didn't get a chance to sit down. So maybe just cut back on some of the stuff so you can sit down and enjoy the party too, or change plans so that you can sit down, enjoy your day. Nobody is promised next year. Nobody. You cannot say, well, next Christmas. There may not ever be. You don't know. Life is just short. So enjoy when you can. Now let's do this last layout. Me and my husband. This man, I cannot tell where I start and he stops. He is just my heartmate, my soulmate. He's everything to me. So he gives me everything I want. He cooks, he cleans, he does laundry. He is like the perfect man for me. Oh, by the way, that just reminded me. He cooks and cleans everything. If you have a husband who cleans the dishes or does the laundry and doesn't do it the way you do it, what big deal is it? I remember this one lady used to tell me, well, my husband does the dishes, but he doesn't wipe the cabinets off like I do. Okay, then you go back later and wipe the cabinets off. Tell him, thank you for doing the dishes. If he does the laundry and messes something up, then opportunity to go buy yourself another one. It's not a big deal. Take the help and quit complaining. Grandma's advice. All right, I'm going to get to this layout. This is going to be a very quick simple layout. This piece of paper is 9 by 10. Awkward size, I know, but that's what I needed to do because I do come up with these cuts for these layouts myself. This is not something anybody else has come up with. And sometimes the paper needs to be the size I need it to be to give me the other papers I can put over layouts. So it is what it is. We all just need to stop worrying so much. So I'm going to put this down right in about the center of this paper. And I'm going to take this piece of paper, which is the one with the words on. I'm going to use the green side of this, and I'm going to cut this into a, like that. I'm not going to glue this down yet because I need to figure out exactly where I'm going to put it. Now for the cards, the backing on this thing, it's a thin piece of paper. But I don't need it to be thick. I just need it for the color. And I used the little bit of a red. And I just need to figure out if I'm going to be putting this. I may shorten that up a little bit. Where do I want it? You know what? It's going to be one of those things we're going to make a decision and live with it. Embellishing opportunities, all that kind of, you know. So right there's where it's going to live. I know, I can move it. My picture is going to go about there. I don't blink because this is going to be a quick layout. Sometimes you just need to let the paper do the job. That's what it's there for. So this is a piece of chipboard again. That's another thing I had laying around here that I like the way it looks, but I haven't used a whole lot of. And that's what this is all about. Stop buying stuff and start figuring out what you have to use first. All right, so this just says Merry Christmas, and I'm going to put that there. And then I have this snowman. I think I'm going to put another piece of this tape on top of that because I want it to set up just a bit higher than it is. And I know I may have to come back later on and add that, but you guys don't need me to see me do that. All right. Sometimes you just struggle no matter what. Anyway, so this little snow girl is going to live right there. Now, isn't that adorable already? This is a chipboard down here. Then I'm going to put something like this. So let me get more of my foam tape here. You know what just came into my head? That sometimes you feel like a nut and sometimes you don't. That's kind of what I'm in today, isn't it? So these are just gift boxes. And I'm going to make sure when this, I'm only going to put the foam tape on this corner here because otherwise it'll stick. It won't lay right if I don't. So we're just going to put those foam squares there. And if I need to add or change it, I can. There we go. Now I am going to grab some sentiments. And just start adding a few over here. This one says peace. That's the other thing I've been trying to use more of is this, are these sentiments that I have. This one that just says joy to the world. Some of these are not saying exactly what I'd like for it to be say, but I have two more books up here I'm going to look at here in a few minutes. I see, I like that, but I don't like the color of that being next. So let me look at these other books. going to just put a few sentiments on this thing and we're going to call it done. I do have these pieces of chipboard here. I'm going to put that one right there. And this one says Christmas greetings and that one says be merry. Actually, I think I had a smaller one. That just says Merry Christmas. I'm going to put that one. Well, I don't know if I could either. Okay, so I just have some sentiments and I'm going to put them on here, different places. I'm going to put holiday cheer there. Holiday fun. These are Echo Park sticker books that I'm using here. Oh, there it goes singing. You guys don't want to do that. They say, no, don't do it, Ruthie. Oh, I am determined to do that. I am determined to sing. I don't know why. I just need to stop. I'm going to put this here. Here's my... You know, if I put things down where I could find it, it'd make it easier to get things done. Yeah. Now I wonder if I have something for right here. I'm not sure what yet. Something quick, something easy. Nothing too big. Oh, here's a deer. About to sing "Doe a Deer." Do you look there? You look at that little deer? You're stuck in there. If you're already stuck, you're going to have to be good. I'm going to adjust some of these. I think if I had them all going, starting basically the same point, I think he would look better. Okay. Now I'm going to look at this for a little bit, see if I like it. And I'm not sure I like this up at the top. I thought I would, but I don't think I do, so guess what? They're coming off. That's what I'm saying, guys. Don't stress. Just don't stress. Just get away. If you don't like something, take it off. It's fine. It's going to be fine. So, I think I'm going to leave it like that. Let the paper do the work. Yeah. We'll go through all the layouts that I did all at the same time right after this, so stick around. And I'll talk to you guys in a bit. Okay, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this series. If you did, leave a comment or a like down below. Subscribe if you haven't done so. And I would love to have some more of these, but this was the first one. The others were a 4x4 series. This is my series I'm calling Creative Cuts. And I do my own cuts. I don't use anybody else's cuts. These are the ones I've come up with on my own. So it takes me a little bit to do them, but leave a comment down below if you're interested. This is the first layout that I did. And I love how this banner worked. That's one of the things I have not done a lot of, but I wanted to try something more, something again. This is something, this whole series is things that I haven't used and things I wanted to start using, and I think I've done really well. Sentiments is something that I haven't used a lot of, and I've used that in a lot of the series. So this is a 7 by 12 piece of paper and then 1-inch strips here. The second layout is this one here, and this one I cut, and I originally was going to put this here. But then when I laid it down and I had this like just laying there, and I'm like, oh, that looks too cute. So this is a different layout for me, but I really liked the way it turned out. And as you guys, if you've watched any of my videos, you guys know I'm a big fan of this build the scene down here. But one of the things I've got to where I do, and I think it looks fabulous, is I'm using some of those sentiment strips in here. That's something that I have a lot of, and I haven't been using. So that's one of the ways that I found to use these. This one, I just love this. It's so cute. My third one is this one. It's a simple layout. This is a Christmas tree that I had picked up, I think Michael's or someplace. I'll see if I can find it and list it down below. I have not done rub-ons before, so I did do a rub-on. And this was from Hobby Lobby. And this paper here is 7 by 12 again. And then the 1-inch strips that I have here. Simple, quick. Remember, if you have any tips for rub-ons, let us all know. I know, I've said that a bunch of times, but serious. So this one, I used a frame. That's something else I have, and I haven't used a lot. So I love the fact that I'm using all these things. And this was my last one, and this is just a simple layout. I'm letting the paper do the work it's supposed to be doing. This is another piece of the cut that I just etched it out there. I used more chipboard. That's something I haven't used a lot of. So in this series alone, I've used chipboard, more sentiments. This is also chipboard up here. I used frames and rub-ons. And just tons of sentiments on this one here. And on this one, I used the banner and some more sentiments. There's one more. Where did it go? 1, 2. Oh, this one. I knew I had another one. And this one. It's different. It is so different. I love the way that I was able to make a tree with this. I used more sentiments and things down here. And this just making like levels and places like for these things to stand turned out amazing. I did use some glitter glue like I talked about in the video, and it makes that star sparkle. I love the way it turned out. So guys, if you've enjoyed this, please let me know. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. And I will be back. I have a room tour at the end of this end of the month, which is coming up really quickly. I have totally just had to redo my entire room. I do project ready organization now. Because of the wheelchair, I have to be able to ask for help more than I ever have in my entire life. So I wanted it to be easy, but it makes it easy for me to be able to go to something and grab something. Stick around. You're not going to want to miss it. Guys, I appreciate your support. I love each and every one of you, and I'll talk to you soon.